Hi, everyone. This is Dr. J, and welcome to week nine. I can't believe I'm saying that. Week nine of VDTC 614. This is the beginning of the end, unfortunately. Um, again, we're marching towards week 15, and yeah, it's the beginning of the end. So I'm having some definite thoughts. I've had a chance to look over your podcast entries. I'm pretty pleased with what I've seen. And thank you all for submitting your podcast literally early before the deadline as I record this on Sunday evening. So thank you for doing that. More importantly, let's jump into what's happening for week nine. So for this week, two key projects I want you to focus on. The first thing I want you to focus on is specifically to go in and review at least two other of your classmates' podcasts. Pick two people, two podcasts, and review them and reply back. What are your thoughts? What do you think of the podcast? What do you believe you got out of it? And share your thoughts. What worked, what didn't work for you? Um, Outside of that, the second part of our activity this week is going to be a little different in that I actually took a couple steps forward and said, we got four people. Let's actually have each of you assigned a discussion board. Excuse me, a chapter that you're going to focus on. So each of you is going to have a unique chapter that you'll have a chance to focus on and then share your learnings from it. Now, I've assigned each of you a chapter from chapters 10, 11, 12, and 13. There's four of you, four chapters, and you'll review your chapter, respond to the discussion board questions specifically in the week nine folder for your specific set of questions, and then again, reply to at least two other people. This is important because I do feel that there is a lot of information that we're going to be covering over the course of the next couple of weeks. And I want to give us time to also focus on the broader aspects of the theories, the principles. And we're going to see two of these principles in action this week, the segmenting principle and the pre-training principle, just to name a few. But even going into some basic concepts such as, does practice really make perfect? And what does the research say when it comes to the organization of, let's say, forget the organization, but more importantly, when you're organizing learning and you're thinking about how to organize and structure your learning, how do you engage people? How do you engage them? And how do you get them to interact with your content, right? And also about leveraging examples. How do we ultimately use examples that will resonate and work with our students? All these things are all part of our e-learning design because now we're on the chapter, or at least in the section of the book. It's section 3, and it's called How to Promote Skill Building in E-Learning. I'd like to think of it as this is when we start thinking about how do you apply this? How do you make this work in the real world? And we're going to start heading in that direction as we head towards Project 3 in the next couple of weeks. And Project 3, which is not due until the end of the semester. So good news, it's going to be after Thanksgiving. At least it's the second, I believe it's the second week of December. So we have some time, but let's not get ahead of ourselves too quickly because you'll blink and it's going to be Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, and before you know it, it'll be the end of the semester. But this is where we start getting into the how do I apply this into my classroom? How do I apply this in terms of an assignment? And if you noticed, for many of you, I've been asking the questions as we go through these principles, how would you apply this in your classroom? Well, you're going to get a chance to really think about those kind of questions and how do you apply these ideas into your classroom when we get to Project 3. But for now, for this week, respond to two of your colleagues when it comes to their Project 2 submissions, which, by the way, I'm going to have graded by the end of this week. So be on the lookout for those in Blackboard. And then the second assignment is to go in and answer your question on chapters 10, 11, 12, and 13. Each of you will have a specific question that you're going to answer and then respond to at least two of your colleagues. This will definitely give you a good summary and gist of what these chapters are about. as we start heading towards the next phase of this course. Thanks again, everyone, for all your work today. And email me if you have any questions. I'm going to change things up in the next few weeks, just to, again, not for the sake of changing them up, but because I want to try new things and get you all into this mindset of how do I design a course? How do I design an assignment, beginning to use the principles that we have in front of us and that we've been studying throughout this semester? So, with that, enjoy the rest of your week. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you soon. Enjoy, everyone. Take care.